Heinemann Higher, Chapter 4, Trigonometry, Graphs and Equations, Exercise 4J, mixed questions at the end, questions in 3 and 4 together, changing between radians and degrees, or changing units. What you can do when you're changing units, no matter what it is employ a bit of dimensional analysis, which sounds fancy, but it just means changing what you don't want into what you do want by getting rid of what you don't want and introducing what you do. And the pair you've got here is this. Pi radians is equivalent to 180 degrees. And dimensional analysis just means this. If you've got radians and you want degrees, then divide by radians will knock out radians, multiply by degrees will introduce degrees. So there's never any doubt. So in this one, I've got radians. So divide by the radians measure will cancel out the units radians, multiply by degrees will introduce the unit degrees. A bit of dimensional analysis. Well, those pi's will cancel out, and then it's just a case of what's that? 4 into that goes 2, 4 into that goes 45, 2 into that's 22 and a half, 3 22 and a half, so 66, 67 and a half. So 67 and a half degrees. Same with this one. I've got radians, I don't want radians. Divide by the radians measure, multiply by degrees to introduce degrees. They'll cancel out. That's even easier, that just goes 30, 7 30s, 210 degrees. Of course, it's also the same as saying just that pi is equivalent to 180 and then just doing 7 times 180 upon 6 instead of the pi. Still, same with this one then. Divide by the pi to knock out the radians, multiply by 180, this time was a little different, what's that? 33, 36, that goes in 36, that's 72, 7 over is 432 degrees. Right, that was the first one. And then it's the same with these. 270 degrees, I want that radians, so I don't want degrees. So I'll divide by degrees, divide by 180, that'll knock out the degrees, and multiply by pi, now it's in radians. Then it's just a case of cancelling that down. Well, that's 90s, isn't it? 19 to that 2, 19 to that 3, so I've got 3 pi upon 2. Quite often you don't write radians because it's obvious from the mention of that pi that it's in radians. If I had some sort of decimal equivalent, I'd have to say radians afterwards just to make sure what it was. Same with the next one. I've got 150 degrees. Divide by the 180, that'll knock out the degrees, then multiply by pi, knock them off, 3 into both of them, 3 into the top's 5, 3 into the bottom 6, so it's 5 pi upon 6. Then the last one, 315 over 180, that knocks out that, multiply by pi. So for this one, what do they both do? Well, there's 45s in there, isn't there? 45s because that'll be 7 45s and that'll be 4 45s, so that's 7 pi upon 4. There it is, change between them. You've got your conversions between the two units, just use a little bit of dimensional analysis.